A student diluted 2 centimeters cubed of yeast culture with 18 centimeters cubed of water. She observed 30 cells in a volume of 0.0005 millimeters cubed of the diluted mixture. You need to calculate the number of cells per millimeter cubed in the undiluted culture. Now, maths and biology is really tough, and so you're having to do this on a regular basis. But if you haven't practiced like me, it can take a bit of time. So let's try and do this question. So the first thing we need to do is work out our dilution factor. So we know we've got 2 centimeters cubed. We know that we have 18 centimeters cubed added. So therefore our total volume is 20 centimeters cubed. And we're going to divide that by the volume for which we have taken, which is 2 centimeters cubed. Therefore, our dilution factor is 10. Now what we need to do is we need to now go down and look at the number of cells. So we are told that we have got 30 cells in 0.0005 millimeters cubed. Now it is really important that you are going to check the number of zeros you put into your calculator. You'll be surprised how many times a mistake is made in the exam by not double checking your numbers. What you want to do is take that 30, the cells that have been counted, and divide that by that volume of 0.0005. And that will tell you how many cells you have got in 1 millimeter cubed. So in 1 millimeter cubed, we are going to find by using our calculator. Let's just double check, get my calculator. Now, if you don't have a calculator, a scientific calculator, I would advise you to get used to it by buying it and practicing using the same calculator every time, because in that exam, you don't want any shocks. So we're going to take our 30. We're going to divide that by 0.0005, double checking, and that therefore means in 1 millimeter cubed, I have got 60,000 cells. Now remember, we had a dilution factor of 10. So what I'm going to need to do is I need to get it up to that undiluted. So the undiluted sample, the undiluted culture, we need to times that number by 10, which obviously means we are going to get 600,000. And I always like to double check my answers using the calculator. Do it a couple of times just to be sure. But let's try and do another one. So here we have a sample of bacterial colony was diluted by mixing 1 centimeters cubed, and this time with 9 centimeters cubed of water. So I know I have got my 1 plus my 9 equals 10 centimeters cubed. I am therefore going to divide that by my original volume, which is 1. Therefore, my dilution factor is 10. Same way we did before, look at the number of cells. We have got 45 cells in 0.001 millimeters cubed. And what I'm going to need to do is divide that 45 by 0.001. And what do I get? So let's do that now. 45 divided by 0.001. And I therefore get 45,000. And my dilution factor is obviously 10. So I'm now going to multiply that by 10. So undiluted, I have 4,500. No, I don't. I have 450,000. Now, the good thing is in the exam, it's about what you write on the paper and not what you say, like I just did. A culture of algae was diluted by mixing 5 centimeters cubed of culture with 15. So 5 with my 15 equals my 20 centimeters cubed. Now, remember, divide that by 5 to give me my dilution factor. So therefore, my dilution factor is 4. Now, what I need to do is I take my 18 cells. I know those 18 cells are in 0.0002 millimeters cubed. So I therefore am going to divide my 18 by my 0.0002. Let's just do that on the calculator again. 18 divided by 0.0002. And that will therefore give me that there are 90,000 cells in 1 millimeter cubed of the diluted culture. Now we need to undilute that. So we've got a factor of 4. So we're going to times that by 4. And that will therefore give us our answer of 360,000 cells in our undiluted culture. Okay, let's go on and do another one. So this one, we have a student prepared a dilution by mixing 4 centimeters cubed of culture, 36 centimeters cubed of water. So again, we're starting to get different numbers here, but does it work in the same way? Well, let's hope. So we have our 4 plus 36, which equals 40 centimeters cubed. Divide that by our original, which was 4, the culture that was taken, and that therefore gives us a dilution factor of 10. Now what do I need to do? Well, now I need to take my 50 cells that they've told me were in 0.002. If I divide the 50 by 0.002, that will tell me how many are in 1 millimeter cube. So 50 divided by 0.002 equals 25,000. And now I'm going to multiply that by my dilution factor. So therefore it is 250,000. Okay, let's do one more and just double check this and see if it works. So what have we got? This one, we have 10 centimeters cubed plus 20 centimeters cubed equals 30 centimeters cubed. Then we are going to divide that by our original, which was 10. That was how much we took. That was the sample that was taken was 10. And that will give us a dilution factor of 3. So we have this dilution factor of 3. Now we're going to switch and look at the number of cells. So now we have 15 cells in 0.0001 millimeter cubed. And what I need to do is obviously divide that by the 0.001. Oh, look, I just made a mistake. Double check your answer, 0.0001. Do not get caught out on that. You'd be surprised how many A-star students actually lose 1 marking point because of a little trick like that. Double check your working. So 15 divided by 0.0001 equals 150,000. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to times that by my dilution factor, and that therefore obviously is going to be 450,000. So what's the skills you need to learn? Key way of working it out. Work out your dilution factor, the volume total divided by the volume of the culture taken. Then you want to scale up to 1 millimeter cubed, and that is done by dividing the cells that you've counted by the volume that was observed, and that will be given to you in the exam question. Now, once you've got that, you're going to then multiply by the dilution factor, and that will therefore give you your answer. In this case, if I had 3 centimeters cubed taken, I added 12 centimeters cubed, I've got a total volume of 15. 15 divided by 3 gives me a dilution factor of 5. If I have 24 cells in a sample which was 0.00025 millimeters cubed, I would then take that number and times it by my dilution factor, and that gives me 480,000. Maths and biology is not complicated if you practice, repetition. I struggle with maths. I know I struggle with maths, and I have to take the time to do lots of practice and to go back and refresh my memory on how to do these sorts of questions, because otherwise, in a couple of months, although I feel confident now, I might forget it. Make sure that you are reviewing the content you think you know and going back over it. And if you do like my content that I'm producing, please like, share, comment. The more that you share this, the more that you comment, the more I get to do what I love. Thank you, everyone.